So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to get into NoodleTools. So first thing, go from your Gmail, and then I think you might have to click on More, and you're going to maybe go to NoodleTools if it doesn't immediately find it for you. Oh no. Okay, let me try again. Okay. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Sorry. NoodleTools. Okay, so click that. All right. So don't need email or anything. Okay, so you're gonna first of all, if you've never used this, or if it's been a long time, like since maybe middle school, make sure that it says Alexander Central. And then you guys, if you're sophomores this year, the 2021 school year, then you're gonna graduate in 2023. So update that if you need to. Okay. All right. So then, okay, we're going to add in a new project, and I'll tell you all about that and how to fill out everything. So first thing, you're going to click on New Project, okay? And I'm going to have you put in your last name, comma, your first name, and then dash Holocaust Research Project, okay? Last name, comma, first name, dash Holocaust Research Project, okay? Then, for citation style, because this is an English class, you're going to choose MLA, Modern Language Association. So it'll have everything for the right way to do your citations and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And for citation level, we're going to choose advanced just because it has lots of different forms of like, oh, this is a YouTube site versus a website. This is a video. This is a brochure. This is a, whatever like that. Okay. So we got that. Last name, comma, first name, dash Holocaust Research Project, MLA, advanced. Okay, so then a couple things we need to do. Up here in project details, we need to do 3 things. So first thing is a research question. What are we going to be researching about? Okay, I'm going to have everybody do the same thing because really I'm just here to teach you how to use NoodleTools and how to organize your ideas, just like when we did our outline for our argumentative paper. Okay, so research question, what can humanity learn from tragedies caused by hate? Okay, and you just click off of it. What can humanity learn from tragedies caused by hate? And we're going to be talking about the Holocaust, but we can also talk about other things like the Rwandan genocide, what's going on in Armenia right now, what happened in Iraq when Saddam Hussein was in power, and that kind of thing. We could talk about synagogue shootings and church shootings here in the United States. There's all kinds of things. So we're going to go from old stuff, the Holocaust in the 1940s, all the way up to modern stuff. Okay. Now, your thesis, everybody could have a different one, but for the sake of this, let's all just do the same one and be really generic. Let's just put, there are many things humanity can learn from tragedies caused by hate. Oh, I'm sorry, that should be a period at the end. Declarative sentence. There are many things humanity can learn from tragedies caused by hate. Because really what we're going to do is a little bit down the road, like next week, we're all going to talk and brainstorm about different things that we can learn, right? Normally, if we read a piece of literature, this would be like a theme kind of coming. What's the author's message to us? So as we start picking up some of these nonfiction sources, we're going to kind of brainstorm and think about what are they trying to tell us? What do we need to learn from this, right? Holocaust didn't happen to us. Maybe it didn't happen to our grandparents. Maybe it didn't happen to our religious group or our sexual orientation or our nationality or anything like that. But I think those things do still affect us. What can we learn from them in 2020? So I'm going to leave this big and broad so that we can be more specific with our body care. Okay. Other things, let's go ahead and start the paper. So where it says paper, we're going to click start paper and let this hook it to our Gmail. Okay. And it'll pop up and it'll make you a new Google Doc and it will name it exactly the same thing as your project. Okay. For right now, this is going to be a blank document, but let's tell ourselves this is for my final draft. Okay. Just type that for now, and then that way if you see it again in your Google Drive, you'll know what it is and you'll know not to be typing on it yet. Okay. I'm not going to do anything yet until it's our final draft. But NoodleTools will hook with it and this will already be created. Okay, everybody got that? All right. Once that's done, just kind of go ahead and X out. You can close out that little thing. Okay. All right. Now, back on this dashboard screen, under sharing and collaboration, each teacher sets up a project inbox. Like I'll have one for each class period, and that'll be my little place where I can check behind your work. Now I can't delete anything, I can't edit anything, but I can like leave you little comments and feedback and tell you what to fix and things like that. And I can just see what you've gotten done, right? Okay, that's how I do all my little grades to check behind you. So click on sharing, share with a project inbox. Okay. And so project inbox, all of mine for the semester are named white dash, and you see them start coming up. So like white dash, third block fall is where we're going to be, right? I know you guys are my third block honors class this fall. And make sure your whole name is in there, first and last, or like your middle and last, whatever you go by, right? Not just an initial there. And then if it lets you, it's not letting me right now, but normally it would say share paper. We can do that later. But once you've got your name in there and like my inbox, just hit done. And it'll share. And then on my side, I'll be able to see that. Okay? All good? All right. So let me pause for 1 second. So if we're looking at this source, we see up here at the top, a tattoo to remember is the article title. Down here, by Jody Ruderin, that tells us who our author is. If we scroll down, I see a page number and the New York Times and upfrontmagazine.com. So the New York Times publishes, that newspaper publishes a magazine for high schoolers called Upfront Magazine. Okay. And this came from that. So this was page 16 and then the back is 17 and it's from January 7th of 2013. Okay. So that's our source. That's what we need to know. Okay. It's not a website. It came like this is, I made my copies from the original. Okay. So in our NoodleTools, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to sources. And this will be our first source. So we're going to click up here at the top, new source. And we're going to say, yep, I have this printed out. I have it in hand right now. And it comes from a magazine, because we just said it's from Upfront Magazine. So then we are citing an article from a magazine. Okay. Under the info about the article, for the author, we have her name, Jody. We have her last name, Ruderin. Okay, it's going to tell you that's probably misspelled because it's a not very common name, but that's fine. And then article title, A Tattoo to Remember. You do not have to capitalize to. Obviously, capitalize the first word, but normally 2-letter words, 1-letter words, we don't capitalize. We don't need to put in an English translation. It was in English to begin with, so we can leave that blank. Page numbers, we can see on the bottom of that handout, 16 and 17. So I'm going to put that in. Then for the magazine, we know that the magazine's title is Upfront. I don't know the volume in the issue. I don't know if they do it weekly, if they do it seasonally, whatever, but it does tell us a date. So on publication date, on the back of my piece of paper, it says January 7th, 2013. So I'm going to put that in. Okay. And then we don't need to do anything else. We don't need to do an annotation. That's fine. Always leave this one at the bottom. Always include this source in my final. Leave that check. Don't mess with that. And then just hit save. And then it will start a list for us, like a works cited. Okay. And it will say everything in the correct format. So it'll always be, like if you remember your summer reading, you had to do that MLA card. So it'll be like last name, comma, first name, period. If it's a magazine article, that article title goes in quotation marks with a period. Then the magazine title would be italicized, so upfront is. Then a comma. Then the date, but remember it's in MLA format like international people do. So the date, the month, and then the year. And then this one is printed so it has page numbers. And it's got PP for page numbers, right? So all that, all formatted correctly. Once we add more sources, it will also alphabetize this page for us by that author's list. So easy peasy. If we can fill in those boxes and hit save, we good. All the sources will do it for us, and I will give you guys the sources, right? Next year, when you're a junior and you pick your own topics, you'll be looking for your own sources and try to find things that are credible and stuff like that. You will not be having to worry about with this. We're just going to talk about the process of research. We're going to talk about how to use NoodleTools. We're going to talk about how to organize our ideas and outline and things like that. And basically, if you can take your note cards well in NoodleTools will help you write your paper. It will do, I'll say, 85% of the work for you, okay, if you do this correctly. So let me just show you how to do those note cards really quickly before we ever start reading and annotating. So if you click on the note cards tab up at the top, okay, it will show you over here on the right an outline pane. We're not ready for that, but that's where we'll put like our thesis, our topic sentences, blah, blah, blah. And eventually we'll have these little icons that look like a little index card for our note cards, and those will drag over into our outline. We're not going to fool with that right now. We can just kind of ignore that whole thing, okay? If you click on New, you'll see what a note card looks like when you're filling it out. And we're not going to do it yet because we haven't read through this article yet, but it'll have a place for the title of this note card. Now, we're not going to fill that out first. We're going to fill that out last, after we fill out everything on the note card, okay? Because this will be not the title of the source it comes from, but the title of this actual note card. So you know what's on it. It's like shorthand. You don't have to open it up every time, okay? We do know the source already. So if we do select source, I'm going to start making my cards from this first source, this Jody Ruderin source, okay? It does not have a URL because we didn't find it online. It does have page numbers, but if we, type something, then we'll put which page it goes with, okay? So main box is on here. First thing is direct quotation. See that? So it'll tell you copy, paste, and annotate here, or just like type in from the source that you have on paper. It says capture the author's words and images, get quotes and attribution right, mark up the quote by coloring and highlighting the text, because you can do that, right? You can change the text color, you can highlight the background, you can do all that kind of stuff, like just as if you're highlighting on your paper, okay? That way, if it's an online thing, you can copy from online and highlight just like you would, okay? Then the second box over here, paraphrase or summary, is exactly that. Put it in your own words. Summarize, explain it to yourself. Look back, did I understand it all? Were there words that I need to like look up? Do I need to say blah, blah, blah means blah, blah, blah? And I make all my notes to myself right there. Then the my ideas part. This is super important, okay? This is for your original thinking. So when we start brainstorming all of these things that humanity can learn from tragedies, like the Holocaust or like a church shooting or like a genocide or whatever it might be, we're going to start putting those topic sentences in this box, okay? So that way, when I make this note card, I already have in mind exactly what body paragraph I'm going to put it with. That way, I don't feel like I'm taking a bunch of notes that I'll never actually end up using in the paper. Does that make sense? Because we don't want to be wasting time. I know you guys don't want to take a million cards that you're never going to use, okay? So that's why we're going to try to brainstorm next week together, okay? But just hit save and close. I know we haven't done anything on this card, but that's fine. But save and close, because this is not like Google, okay? It will not auto-save like a Google Doc will. So if you notice, this one we already made one card. It's untitled because we haven't done anything with it really yet. And then if you have bird's eye view, you can kind of see all of them at once, okay? But that's how you do it. That's how you set up your project and set up your first source and what a note card would look like when you first start it.